Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. You're watching The Inside Scoop. I'm your host, Steve Scanlon. Sitting next to me is my co-host, Bubba. Welcome, Bubba.
Hey, you doing, Steve?
And sitting next to Bubba is, I have no clue who he is. Who are you?
I call Kevin or Joe.
Okay, so you're not sure what your name is. Not the first time.
That's Emma Lily's boyfriend.
Yeah, right.
I'm kidding, Joe. We got Joe with us, and sitting
Emma
with
Lilia.
Joe is
We call her Emma Lily for short.
Lily.
Yeah.
We are in February, and we got Valentine's Day coming up, so we wish you all a happy Valentine's Day.
On that note,
Okay. Here we go.
I had to correct this out. I forgot this because with our time we had COVID and Christmas time we'd forgotten and we weren't taping, and last show I forgot this shirt, and it's appropriate.
Okay.
I've never seen anybody in my life, and I'm hoping the Intimidator sees this show, sweat more in my life. I got you this shirt, and it's really appropriate. It'd be an appropriate shirt to wear on Valentine's Day.
Oh, okay.
Isn't that cool? Sweat Boy. There you
I
go.
remember watching him over in Lucky Pro Wrestling.
Yes,
He was the guy who would be at ringside, part of our faction there. I forgot the name of their faction, but he would hold a towel and wipe down the sweat.
That was with LPW. He'd wipe down sweat from Brian Cairo. Well, he left Brian Cairo. His match was against Randy Shawn.
Okay.
And if he won the match, Randy Shawn had Brian Cairo had to retire. If you went to the last event in Hudson, which you didn't go to with me, you would have saw that he pinned cleanly Randy Shawn, aka Jay Buster, and Brian Cairo had to retire.
Now, Sweat Boy also wrestled under the name Chris
James. Trained by Mike Baker, man who sat in the seat.
Interesting.
A lot of people don't know this, but I figured that's appropriate for you.
That's a good note to know.
I mean, if I never signed by Sweat some more in my life, happy birthday.
Oh, thank you. But my birthday was in December.
We weren't here, I told you. Did you hear what I said? I started the show off.
Right. You're
Blow
right.
the wax out of the ear that you can hear it.
Well, I was distracted. I was thinking about food. I had food on my mind. Just prior to tonight's taping, before we went on the air, you mentioned today was National Pizza Day.
I just read it on my phone, too. And I did buy a pizza, and there's one in my car, and you can't have it.
Oh, man. Well, I still got 30 minutes to change your mind. With Joey's help. Joey,
Yeah, right.
can you help me convince him to give me a slice of
I'm not
pizza?
getting involved.
Okay. All right.
$4 is a slice is yours.
You, Joe, once again have a list of wrestling matches, but I believe for the next pay-per-view, which is Elimination Chamber. Oh, yeah, that's right. Again, I got distracted. I'm sorry. You got a list
Look at a pizza.
of deaths, right? So who passed away, Joe?
We'll start off with Vincent K. McMahon's mom, who died at 101.
101. Wow, she made it to 100. Wow.
God bless her.
And WKRP and Cincinnati star Howard Hessman.
Yes, also from Head of the Class you mentioned.
And Police Academy 2.
Yes. Yeah. A good act. I mean, I watched a couple of WKRP and Cincinnati this weekend. They showed some episodes on MeTV until I lost my plan. My cable plan changed, and that was on my old plan. So I don't get. I do get MeTV. I don't get Game Show Network.
Okay, was there any birthdays to mention or no?
None I can think of at the moment.
Okay.
Tatanka's was yesterday. I just know from going on Wrestling
I
Farm.
remember Tatanka.
I have a magnet sitting on my refrigerator signed by Tatanka.
Oh,
I met him in Abington. Nice man. Had a good match against Brian Malonis.
Tatanka, the Native American Indian.
Chris Chavez. He actually is half Indian.
Yes.
He's the same as Nikaya Toma. She is actually half Indian. She's not making that up.
I'm glad. I mean, wrestling has a lot of different gimmicks, but I'm glad that some of these people who play the gimmick, say for example, Native American Indians, are actually Native American Indians.
Wahoo McDaniel was a Native American Indian. The Youngbloods were both Native American Indians.
Or Chief J.
Chief Jay Strongbow was Italian. He was not an American Indian. He played a character. One of the funniest people I think in wrestling, when he'd stop and yell on you in the ring, I would crack up. I met Chief Jay Strongbow.
All right, Joe, you got a list of not only matches for Elimination Chamber, but you got the last pay-per-view as well,
Yes, I do.
Royal Rumble.
Yep.
Before you get to that, I've been doing a lot of thinking, and yes, I had smoke coming out of my ears.
I wonder why my cows
I was like, wait a minute, Joey brings a list, why don't I bring a list?
because you barely bring yourself.
Because I figured I'll bring a
That
list.
was the
this time.
director too. We didn't know you were coming.
I got a list with me, but a different type of list. It's called a menu.
Food
They have a
list.
list of food.
Don't,
A food list.
don't show anybody that. They're not sponsors of our show.
I know, but I see food lists, from
Cover that
burgers
up
to grilled cheese sandwiches to
Oh,
salads to pizza to
Just bring up the
subs.
subject again.
Okay, you don't want me to read my list? Okay, I'll look at that
I
after
think
the
of
show.
you, and I think of like one thing, a couple things come to mind.
Food?
Animal House.
Oh, okay.
The late John Belushi walking through a food line. I mean, he could be a stand-in for that, couldn't he?
Probably. I've never seen the movie, but
You've never seen Animal House? You've been
No.
sleeping all
I've
your
never
life?
seen it either.
Oh, you got to see that.
watch
That's
it
one of the
sometime.
funniest skits in the history of maybe all movies.
Oh, yeah.
John Belushi walking through the food line on Animal House. That's what you remind me of. And it'll weigh a tiny bit. Let him get to his list. Get food off the brain, will you?
Okay. Today's National Pizza Day.
He's going to go home and watch the
Pizza.
Ninja Turtle movies tonight, I think.
Ninja
I have the Turtle movies,
Joe, can I
actually.
borrow that movie tonight?
I actually had all three.
I have all 5.
There was 5 of them?
Yeah,
I never knew
they
there was
made
5.
They,
new
they
ones.
made 2 reboots.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Plus, I also have the TV series they had on Fox too.
Yes. I had the 3. I bought them. I donated them to Savers, all my VHS tapes. I had the whole set. I might still have that set because I saved a bunch of sets.
I have them on DVD.
Good for you. I found them on VHS, which is almost impossible to find number 2 on VHS.
Do you think they'll have it on Netflix or something?
I don't know.
I don't know.
You don't know.
They may. Can we get out to wrestling?
Yes. Joe, could you
Okay.
talk about their Royal Rumble pay-per-view if
It's
you
the
don't mind?
35th Royal Rumble.
35 already?
Yeah.
Wow, I remember when there was their first one on the USA Network.
Yeah, SummerSlam's gonna be
Duggan
hitting
won that one.
35 this year too.
What's that?
SummerSlam's hitting 35 this year.
Oh, wow.
WWE title, Brock Lesnar versus Lashley. Lashley had a little help winning. Help with putting Roman Reigns and Heyman.
No, you were right, Bubba, saying that he was going to retain the title. Lashley, so.
Retain the title. Lashley was the
Retain-
challenger.
He won the title from
the-
Brock Lesnar.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But
He won
Roman
the title.
Reigns,
Okay, that's
Roman
what I meant.
Reigns, if he survives, well, I won't bust your bubble for the next pay-per-view. He's got a tough match ahead of him at WrestleMania. I think Brock's going to kill him.
Okay, the mixed tag match, Edge and his wife Beth Phoenix against The Miz and his wife Maurice, and the WWE Hall of Famers Edge and Beth Phoenix won.
Did win. I thought The Miz and Maurice were going to cheat somehow and win that, but that's actually wasn't a bad little match. Maurice shouldn't be in the ring, but it was entertaining, I guess.
The women's Royal Rumble winner, the returning Ronda Rousey.
Yeah, she was a surprise.
No, she
entry.
wasn't.
Really?
I read on the
didn't know
internet, but
she was gonna
I even
be
kept
in
that quiet.
I've seen something on that
it. You
too.
did see that?
I was
didn't.
hoping to see Asuka. She should be back soon because
I was thinking of Bailey too, but
I heard Bailey was supposed to be coming back, but she's still nursing an injury. She's taking it slower.
I've seen something that she's supposedly be in a women's elimination chamber match.
She might be because Sasha Banks right now is hurt. Sasha might be coming back for that as well.
The men's Royal Rumble winner, the former WWE champion Brock Lesnar.
Now, did you
Came out
notice the
30th.
connection between the two winners of the Royal Rumble matches this year? Both of them are
MMA.
Ultimate fighters.
And on a side note, Bobby Lashley has officially retired from MMA. He didn't re-sign his belt or MMA contract. He wants to concentrate mostly on wrestling for right now. Because he did well in both, actually.
Universal title, Roman Reigns against Seth Rollins. Rollins won on a DQ.
That was a great match. I think they should be keeping that going, but they're not. Now, I came up with a curve on that would have been very interesting. At the time of that match, John Moxley was not under contract to anybody. He was a free agent. McMahon should have gave him a one-day contract to show up, come to the ring, but not help either guy. That would have been a twist. And then just walk away. I mean, just make the appearance. That would have been, I think it would have been an awesome twist. I'm not helping you, and I ain't helping you. I'm helping myself, and I'm out of here. Yeah. That would have been awesome.
Well, the reason Rollins won that match is because Roman refused to take off the submission move off of Rollins.
Yeah. When he was against the rope, I believe.
Now, what was his issue after the match? He kept giving chair shots to Seth Rollins.
Well, he was mad. Seth was embarrassing him and insulting him and getting through his head, and essentially Roman was being told what to do. Oh yeah, he must have hit him about 25 times with the chair.
Finally, the Raw Women's title, Becky against Doudrop, and Becky won.
Which we all called. I don't think Doudrop's ready to be a champion. I don't think she's that good a wrestler, to tell you the truth. I think she's just cheaper than... I guess Nia Jax was still under contract, and they asked her to be in the Royal Rumble. I read this online. She's like, no way. You people are terminating me. I'm under a 90-day no fight clause because I can't work anywhere now. And I'm not coming to help you guys out because you should have. They should have had more girls in NXT, in my opinion. There's a lot of girls in NXT that could have gone to that Royal Rumble.
The men's Royal Rumble.
I mean, Ivory was kind of the disappointment from what I'm told.
The men's Royal Rumble. There's been tension in regards to the wrestlers and Shane McMahon. Because Shane McMahon, I believe, was one of the bookers for the men's Royal Rumble, and he placed himself in the Royal Rumble match.
He was actually kayfabe to win that, and it got changed at the last second. And I guess, from what I'm reading on 9 right now, I guess Vince and Kenny McMahon, his mother, and the powers to be have suspended Shane. Right now, his status for WrestleMania is up in the air. Shane may be bye-bye for a while. I mean, how can you take one of the co-owners of the company and suspend him? I don't know, but that's what they're saying. He's taking a lot of heat out back.
There's a lot of heat with Triple H, NXT, and
a lot of heat with Chris Pyro too. But
all right. Anything else in regards to Royal Rumble before we jump to the next paper?
I mean, Royal Rumble wise, I'm an honest person. It was the night we had the blizzard. Yes. Okay, it was the day after we had the blizzard. I had a plow company come to my house late, and I missed half of it. I had to go out and shovel my minivan out and try to shovel. And
I missed their mixed tag team match because I was in the kitchen cooking the pizza, or frozen pizza. And so I called Joe.
How could you miss a whole match cooking a frozen pizza? Don't you just take it and throw it in the oven? What'd you do, stare at the oven and drool?
I called Joe up and asked him who won that match, and he's like, well, I had the pay-per-view on pause because I had to shovel the driveway, so I had it to, I actually got the results of the Royal Rumble, that match, on YouTube later on that evening.
I mean, you can go back on Peacock and watch it again, which I plan on doing.
True. Oh, no, I thought it was a decent pay-per-view. Some people weren't happy with their Royal Rumble.
If I had to give it a 1 to 10, I'd probably give it a 5.
Okay, you thought it was...
It was Meds. It wasn't... I think the matches before that, the Hell in a Cell match, was before that last big pay-per-view. Help me out, Joey. That was better. The matches, the wrestling quality was a little better. I mean, surprise entrant in the Royal Rumble. The biggest surprise entrant in the Royal Rumble, who? You had to pick one. One person on the men's side.
I'd say Brock Lesnar.
I would say Bad Bunny.
Oh, yeah.
He actually did pretty good, too. Again.
Shane was another surprise.
Well, he put himself in it.
True.
That's one of the reasons why he ain't in it no more. He's out of the WWE right now. Officially, he's under, like, suspension. But he still owns the rights to WCW. He owns the consortium. It's his company.
Oh,
That's up
never knew
to,
that.
yes. How about
Okay.
the next pay-per-view? You got any?
The Elimination Chamber, which is going to be in Saudi Arabia this year.
On what date do you have the
The
date?
February 19th, a week from this Saturday.
Smother on the girl can't breathe. You get your armpits stuck in her face.
No, man, I'm putting down
Reminds me
here.
of Brian Knobs from the Nasty Boys. He used to do the,
Pit stop. I met the Nasty Boys.
did you meet the pit stop too or no?
No. You're gonna meet the pit stop though if you keep picking on me.
Oh boy.
The Elimination Chamber match for the WWE title. Lashley defending against former champion Brock Lesnar against Austin Theory versus Seth Rollins, Riddle, and AJ Styles.
So he has 5 opponents.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pick a champion here for that one. And I'm gonna shock you. I'm picking Lashley to retain. Because Brock has to go against Roman at WrestleMania.
Yeah, what I think it is, well, I'm going to go with Brock to win. I think it'll be title versus title at WrestleMania. Throw a twist into that match.
I'll go with Lesnar. Next one, the Raw Women's title is Becky versus WWE Hall of Famer Lita.
I love Lita. I've met Amy Dumas. I've drank next to Amy Dumas. Amy Dumas closer than you are to me. Stay away. Okay? Amy's a character. She's actually a trainer for a lot of the girls right now. NXT and WWE. She's in a training center. I think they're kind of digging the bottom of the barrel here with this. I love Lita. She's a little bit beyond her prime. I think Becky Lynch wins that easily. I know Liv Morgan got hurt during the Royal Rumble. When much of her stats, much of it was her arm, or if it was her hip, but she got hurt. She may be wrestling, but she's playing right now. She's wrestling hurt. I still think she should get a push. She should get a match.
I'm going to go with Lita for that because, like she said last week on Raw, she has one more run in the WWE. So I think she's going to pull what Edge did, win the championship, then leave from there. Who do you pick to win, Joe?
I'll go with Lita.
Okay.
Next, we got SmackDown Tag Titles, the Usos against the Viking Raiders.
Viking Raiders were getting kind of pushed into the background. I think the Bloodline keeps the titles right now. I think the Usos are going to win the match.
I don't know who's going to win, but I'm going to go with who I want to win in that match.
That's what I want to win is the Viking Raiders, of course.
Yeah, they've been tag champs before.
I've mentioned several times in the past. I've met Ibar. I've known Todd Smith for 15 years. Mike Baker has wrestled Todd Smith, who's sitting in this chair.
I'll go with the Vikings, see if they can become 2-time champs.
3-time.
3-time?
Yeah, they were 2-time champions on Raw.
Okay, we got the Universal title, Roman Reigns against Goldberg.
No, that was just I can't talk. Big surprise. But at the same time, I read it on YouTube, some of the wrestlers are upset that Goldberg is once again in the picture of a title match. And where he's a part-timer, whenever he shows up, he automatically makes a challenge to the title and always gets a championship match.
That's the way they had Brock Lesnar for 3 years.
Yeah.
Okay? Goldberg is 56 years old. He's an intense, and they keep him under contract so he does not go to AEW. AEW wants him badly. And Bill Goldberg says, I'm going to show my loyalty right now to Vince McMahon.
Yeah.
I would love to see Goldberg win another title at 56.
I would too.
But he's not going to beat Roman Reigns.
You don't think so?
It's going to be fluky. I think it'll be the Usos may come in and interfere and cause a disqualification again. Okay, but I mean, when Goldberg fought Lashley, it was more personal. He destroyed Bobby Lashley. No one destroys Bobby Lashley. He destroyed him. You don't piss off Bill Goldberg, because Goldberg came a little bit out of character. He actually wanted to hurt Bobby Lashley. I'd love to see that match. That, if they let it go, that could be a sleeper, but it's usually a 5-minute, 6-minute match with Goldberg.
I'm going to go with Goldberg to win this match, and I think he will win the title, and I think Brock Lesnar will win the title. I think Brock Lesnar would defend his title against Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. That's how I think that's going to play.
Oh, that's a good twist. That might work. I don't think Roman's going to lose, though.
Who you picked to win, Joe?
I'm gonna go with who's next. Goldberg.
He's one of my favorite wrestlers of all time, but it doesn't fit right now into the whole Roman Reigns scenario.
And one last match. The guy I'm wearing, Drew McIntyre versus Madcap Moss.
That was a good match when they had a match before. That was a great wrestling match, and then Madcap Moss hit Drew McIntyre and hurt him, caused a bulging disc in his neck, and now it's becoming a little more personal. I think Drew McIntyre is going to annihilate Madcap Moss.
I agree with you.
No, unless you got...
What does Lily think on this one? Emma Lily, what do you think? Tell him. You won't tell me. No?
Talking about thinking, I wonder what
talks-
Alexa Bliss been thinking last few weeks.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. I have a psychology major from school, and I still can't figure out what that girl's going through that girl's brain.
I noticed this past week she started crying when she gave up the doll. I guess she got attached to the doll.
I've heard the doll's supposed to go live. It's going to come to life.
Interesting.
I've heard rumors of Paige becoming Emily. Lily.
In fact, I seen some on page recently saying that she changed her hair color.
Yes. It was jet black, and it's probably yellow and red. That would really be an interesting twist, because that's I've been reading a little bit online again.
I want to go back to the Madcap Drew match coming up. Think Corbin will get involved in that somehow?
I think Corbin does. He's going to get hurt. I think Drew McIntyre's
Yeah, I
mad
think
right
he
now.
will. He's most likely going to be at ringside. So I think he's going to be interfering time to time in that match.
Since our last taping, I went to a Mask Gladiators show down Fairhaven. Davey Cash's promotion. Had a great time. There's some personal conflicts going on between people in their business. I'm not going to mention any names. But I went down to really see a wrestler and show respect to Justin Silva. Not Justin Silva. Justin Silva? You've seen the show? You remember the event we went to? Justin Souza, sorry. Justin Silvia's Coco. Justin Souza. Remember the young kid we went I donated all the candy for? And I took Chris Candido out of character for a couple seconds. Because everyone was hating him. They have a good match coming. I believe it's on Friday I think it's the 18th, back down Fairhaven. The 19th, you could see RWA's Rumble, which they had canceled a couple weeks ago. T Phoenix is putting that back on down in Willard Street in East Providence. Again, another $10 show. That's a Saturday. Great show.
Which is
March 5th, they're promoting their Rumble and their matches up in LPW in Hudson. So we're getting kind of back into a little bit of the post-winter, pre-spring, post-blizzard, post-ice storm. Interesting, since our last taping, folks. We've had 24 inches of snow, and we had 18 in where I live in my new place in South Attleboro. You guys had, I think, 21 and a half or 20 inches of snow here in Attleboro officially. We had 23 and a half officially in Taunton. We had that blizzard, and that was pretty nasty.
Yeah, it was.
It was, and then we had the ice storm this past weekend. That was pretty nasty.
Now, you mentioned Sean Candido. I remember watching him wrestle for Showcase. He would go to the ring saying, number one. Now, come to mind, when I think of one, it reminds me when I order a pizza.
oh, here we go.
Could I have one slice of pizza? That one slice ends up being a large, 2 large. So I was thinking next time I'm going to go two large pizza.
Right up!
But I'm just saying, that reminds me of when I order a pizza. I go, one pizza.
One slice?
Ends up being 2 large pizzas by the time I'm done.
The giant ones from Park Street, most likely.
Yeah.
No, more like the big Y.
Yeah, they have large pizzas too.
No.
The large rectangular
I mentioned this to
ones.
somebody, and I'll mention it again because it is National Pizza Day. A gentleman by the name of Alphonse Pozziello, that's where he got the name pizza from. Shut up. From Boston,
Okay.
used to make pizzas. Pizzas were not round. Anybody from New York says, "Oh, we made pizza," I'll crack you myself. Alphonse Pozziello invented pizzas. Pizzas were square on cookie sheets, giant sheets, and thin. New York made them round. Chicago made them thick. The originally Sicilian pizza.
So New York
Pizzas are round. They made them round.
made the ones who changed it to round.
Right.
Just, okay.
Alphonse Pozziello from the bakery in the Italian North End of Boston. It's still there. The same bakery is still there. All right. Pozziello's bakery is run by his grandson now.
Okay.
Invented pizza. It used to be in big sheets. That's how he made it originally. Very, very thin crust. Very simple. But you know who had the idea for pizza? Do you know who decided to put cheese on bread? Joe should figure this out. Same people who made pasta for Chinese.
Really?
Yes.
No,
And-
I would think
and
either the
the-
Greeks or the
and-
Italians came up
nope,
with pizza.
and the Italians put sauce on it to make it pizza.
Ah.
That's what Pozziello did.
Yeah.
A little history of pizza since it's National Pizza Day.
So I wonder, will they put Chinese food toppings on the pizza for me?
Yes, they will.
Okay. Like
Egg foo young,
chicken fingers, egg foo young.
beef
egg rolls.
teriyaki,
Oh, man.
boneless spare ribs.
What I think I'll do is I'll order Chinese food and a pizza tomorrow night, because tonight I got my mind on chili dogs. But tomorrow night I'll order Chinese food and a pizza, and I'll put the Chinese food on the pizza as toppings. Thank you. You gave me a bright idea, Bubba.
He only talked to you. What is this guy talking about putting Chinese food on pizza?
I don't know.
I don't know either. Mr. Director, I want to thank you for directing us and putting up with this and pizza chicanery.
Well,
And
In a few
I want to thank them
minutes, I
ACS
could, read the
for having
list.
us. Want to wish all our folks out there a happy Valentine's Day. There was a death that was not mentioned, a local man, and I'll mention it now quickly. All I know is his first name. His name is Danny. He was a local mechanic. He worked at the mechanic shop I've been going to for over 12 years.
wow.
He was 59. He died New Year's Eve. He worked the day before.
Ooh.
He died New Year's Eve, asleep in his home.
Wow.
I don't know the cause of death, but Danny was the best mechanic I knew. God bless you, Danny. Happy Valentine's Day, folks.
And have yourselves a good 2 weeks. We'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye.